Would you like to learn some of the most common advanced business phrases on autopilot, where you don't even have to think about them, you don't have to stress about it? You know that feeling where you say a sentence, it just flows off the tongue, and you're like, where did that come from? On today's episode, I'm going to give you a special preview of an activity from my Confidence Booster Toolkit. What is the toolkit? Well, I designed this for senior managers like you, and it's essentially a collection of lessons to help you learn some of the most common advanced business phrases on autopilot. All of the lessons are designed to be in under 5 minutes, so it can fit in around your busy schedule. Also, the main thing here is that if you learn phrases that you know are right and sound good, it's really going to boost your confidence. And that, of course, is the goal after all. I released the toolkit before summer, and I'm going to be opening it up again very soon with a special offer. And so what I wanted to do in the next couple of episodes is give you a preview and show you what it's actually like inside the toolkit and how it can benefit you. Let's crack on then, shall we? Welcome to Confident Business English. My name is Anna. I am your host and neuro-language coach. On this podcast, I bring you to the point, practical communication tips to help you as a senior manager build your confidence. Right then, just before we dive in and do the activity, let me just explain a little bit about the idea behind the toolkit and why I created it. I've been coaching clients for several years now, and I was always hearing the same thing. My vocabulary sounds basic. I want to use better words. But at the same time, I feel nervous about using more advanced phrases because I don't know if they're right and I don't want to make myself look like an idiot in front of my colleagues. Very understandable. Another thing I was also hearing was, I'm really busy. I've got a lot on my plate. I've got quite a stressful job. And honestly, I can't really spend hours sitting around and learning vocabulary. But equally, I am a conscientious and hardworking person, and I want to make the most of my free time. Hence the birth of the toolkit. And the reason I've called it a toolkit and not a course is because it's really there for you to use it how you want. The idea, as I said, behind it is if you can learn these phrases on autopilot, you don't have to stress and worry about them anymore. Just before we start, we're going to have a look at the exercise in the episode today. But if you want to get the audio of this exercise and the corresponding PDF to take away, sign up and become a free member of the Confident Business English podcast. Go to the link in the show notes and you will get your copy, which I will send in my newsletter this week. Let's have a look at the activity for today then. I'm going to take a lesson from Fast Phrases, which is essentially a set of some of the most common and everyday advanced business phrases that you can use. And the one we're going to have a look at today is chairing meetings. Is this not one of the most important skills as a senior manager? Feeling confident chairing meetings. And the benefit of this is if you can learn these phrases on autopilot, you're just going to feel so much more relaxed. You don't need to stress about, how do I transition from one person to another? What do I do if somebody is talking for too long? What do I do if we're running out of time? You're going to come across calm. You're going to be in control. You know that your vocabulary is going to be good because it's going to be using the phrases on here. And as I said before, you don't need to reinvent the wheel every time you have to chair a meeting. In this module, I'm going to train you on 17 phrases that typically follow the chronological order of a meeting. And I'm imagining this is a group meeting, not just a one-to-one. Each module has an audio lesson with the different phrases that you're going to train yourself on. The idea is to make the exercise interactive and repeat the phrase after you hear me say it. First of all, with the PDF document, of course, and then as you become more confident with the phrases, hopefully they become more automatic and then you can do them without even thinking. I'm going to play this clip for you now, and you're going to hear a set of different phrases with a gap after the phrase. You can try and repeat it now if you want to, or just listen to it and then you can go back and try the repeating exercise later. Here you go. Here's the audio. Good morning, all. How is everyone today? Does everyone have the agenda? Shall we get started? Would anyone like to start? Let's start with the first thing on the agenda then. I'd like to hand over to John to start, if you don't mind. I'd just like to highlight a couple of interesting points, though, which I think you might find useful to know. The second question was, how is everyone today? This is a little change from saying, how are you today? Because it automatically involves the whole group. If you ask a big group, how are you today? They might not be sure if you're asking everyone or just one person. So how is everyone today just immediately invites the group to give you some feedback. Also, another advanced touch that you're going to notice when you practice this is the intonation. So you can hear when I'm asking these questions where my intonation is going up or down. And you can also hear in those sentences where I'm connecting speech, how it sounds when I say it, what's the rhythm of the sentence. So you can really go very in depth with that and try to perfect the way that you say it. Another thing I wanted to highlight was sentence number 7, which is, I'd like to hand over to John to start, if you don't mind. If you don't mind is a funny sentence because British people say this a lot. Could you start if you don't mind? If you don't mind, could you hand me the agenda? We use it all the time. So if you're working with British people, this could be a nice little added touch as well. You've probably already noticed that we say it all the time anyway. Let's continue and do the next part. Again, listen to the sentence and repeat it if you can. If not, just listen to it and you can go back again and do it later. Could we move on, please? I'm really conscious of time. Would anyone like to add anything? Are there any questions so far? Let's quickly run through the action points then. Let's just go over what we agreed. Let's just quickly recap on the key points. I'm really sorry, but we're running out of time. Can we pick it up in the next meeting? That's it for today then. Thank you, everyone. That's all for today then. Thank you, everyone, and see you next time. All right, that brings us to the end of the exercise. Remember, the objective here is to learn these phrases on autopilot so you don't have to think about them. You might be thinking, oh, well, Anna, I know these phrases. Yes, but do you use them? Do you use them when you need them? Can you say them without any mistakes, without any hesitation? Because that's what we're aiming for. This is not necessarily me asking you, do you understand these phrases? I'm asking you, can you do them without any hesitation, without thinking smoothly? If not, then that's definitely something that you want to improve, because chairing meetings should be like clockwork, right? It should just be one of these things that happens that you feel confident doing in English without stressing too much about it. Let me highlight a couple of points that came up in that second section. Let's just is a really common combination. Let's just go over what we agreed. Let's just quickly recap on the key points. Let's just run through. You'll notice that's a very common combination, especially when we want to review things at the end of the meeting. Are there any questions so far is a beautiful temperature check that you can throw in there if you maybe have an inclination that maybe people are not following, not necessarily because you're not explaining, but maybe it's a very dense meeting, maybe there's a lot going on, maybe you just want to give an opportunity for anybody to raise anything. There you go then. That is your preview from the Confidence Booster Toolkit. And if you sign up and become a free member, I'm going to send you that exercise for free as like a nice little bonus sample for you. I hope you found that useful. I thoroughly enjoyed taking you through that. And next week, I'm going to be giving you a preview from another part of the toolkit and letting you know about how you can get your own copy with a very special offer that I'm going to be giving you for the listeners of the podcast. All right, I'll see you next week. And thank you so much for squeezing me in to your very busy day. I really appreciate it and speak to you soon. Bye-bye.